Check, check.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 35th Annual Portland Masters. If I sound muffled, it's because I'm wearing a mask. I'm here with my cohort, Mike Miller. Thank you for coming, Mike.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Exciting. Another year after last year not having the tournament. Great to be here this year.
Yeah, and as we're nearing the pandemic, a few of the people not wearing masks now. I'm looking for a time where we can bowl without masks again. That'll sure be nice.
Yeah, I think, what is it, 7 days away, I think, a week.
Yep. So on this squad, I'm standing behind 15 and 16, and we do have one previous champion. We got Sean Copeland, the 2002 Masters champion. I was talking to him. It looks like 20 years ago he won at Kellogg Bowl. He said he beat Craig Tucholsky for that title.
He did, yep, I remember it. He's bowling up-and-comer Johnny Leggett, who's really on fire right now.
Yes, Johnny Leggett won his first OBA and then turned around and won his second OBA last month here at Milwaukee Bowl. If there's anybody who's on the heater, Mr. Leggett, and what a nice guy. I mean, a great talent, too. Two-hander.
And bowling at his home house, which the comfortability is key when you're in these kind of matches.
I can't tell whether or not does he put his thumb in the ball?
He does put his thumb in the ball. He's correction, it doesn't look like Johnny is putting his thumb in the ball anymore. I'm going to go ask him.
He's palming it. Yeah, so the Portland Masters started with 140 entrants this year. We had a tremendous amount of people, considering that it hasn't been around for a couple years. These are the final 32 out of 140 competitors. Everybody bowled 10 games last weekend. The cut score was 47 over for 10 games to make the top 32. Eddie Smith really whacked him, 233 over last weekend. Eddie's a regional player up here in the Northwest. I think he hails from the Seattle metro area. So he will be facing off against our number 32 competitor, Dave Dimoff. Well, let's take a minute to talk about our matches, Mike. The first match, Dave Dimoff, quite the underdog, 32nd seed taking on our first seed, top seed Eddie Smith. What do you know about this Eddie Smith guy?
No, he's I believe from up north. Correct, if I'm correct. Been doing some damage in the regional tour, making a lot of finals. About it, all I know about him. Although I know he's cashing a lot, so. And he obviously bowled well.
Yeah, so over on 3 and 4 next to them, we've got a couple of high rev rate players. We've got Tanner Spacey, Jeff Noggle. Tanner Spacey, also from the Seattle area, another very powerful player.
Powerful, high ball rate, high ball speed. Very, he's what we call gets all of it. Yeah.
And then on 5 and 6, we've got Switchy. We've got Robbie Edwards versus Tyler Bowe.
Another youngster from up north, Tyler Bowe, and Rob Edwards, who, if he gets it going, can strike more than anybody in the building. So that should be an interesting match.
On 7 and 8, we've got Nick Devlin versus Lucas Cobb. Now, isn't Nick Devlin, isn't he a product of the Arizona State bowling alumni?
He is also a product of Mick McMahon's his coach. He always bowls well in this tournament. I believe he grew up around here.
And his father made the cut in this tournament as well, right? So it's kind of a generational thing, father-son bowlers. Very good. Yes.
I don't know a lot about Lucas Cobb. Looks like a big, tall player.
Speaking of Lucas, over on 9 and 10, we've got Lucas Stone bowling the house man, Corey Husted. This is really one of the more anticipated matches this morning for sure.
This was one of the ones I was really looking forward to. You guys know each other well. Both very solid players. Obviously, Corey Husted is probably the local favorite. He's done some damage in this tournament. He's due to win this tournament at some point. So that one we're going to see. We're going to see a good close match, I believe, in that one.
Over on 9 and 10, we've got the relatively unknown Sean Horenberger versus Ryan Connor. Ryan Connor bowled well in 2020 at Kellogg. So I've seen him bowl before. He's been doing really well in OBAs as well when he bowls.
He's a good, both of these players are really solid. This is one of the sneaky matches I was looking forward to seeing because both gentlemen are traveling, so not a lot of people know about them around here, but they're both really, really good tournament bowlers.
And then, of course, on our two end pairs, 13 and 14, 15, 16, we've got two previous champions. On 13 and 14, we've got Jacob Mullen, which I have never seen Jacob bowl, bowling the 2018 Masters champion, Eric Jensen.
Yeah, Jacob Mullen, along with Johnny Leggett, are probably the two highest up-and-coming youngsters around. And then you got Eric Jensen, the St. Omar, past champion. He's won it all around here. Very, 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 very solid player.
And I was speaking to Jensen outside in the parking lot. So if a lot of some people are probably wondering, Eric, he really led the OBA in cashes and money for several years. We haven't seen him as much. He's had some kids, but more importantly, he's been fighting a back injury, Mike.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, Brian. Yeah, he told me his back's a little tender, so he's maintaining it, managing it, which might do him well. Because early in these matches, just slows everything down. He's solid. He's one to watch. It wouldn't surprise me if he came out victorious in the whole thing.
me either. And also on 15 and 16, we've got 54-year-old senior player Sean Copeland bowling against the hottest player in the local area right now, Johnny Leggett, winning a couple OBAs recently. This will be a great match on 15 and 16.
A great match. Should be high fireworks. Sean Copeland, no stranger to these types of matches. High roller. Resume says all you need to know about it. Of course, those are one-game matches, but still, a lot of other guys I'd rather draw in the first round than Sean Copeland.
And what Mike was alluding to, the high roller, it was the 1995 high roller where Sean finished second, and he shot 2 300s in one day with a Jade Piranha, and then he finished second in the tournament, won $127,000 in one tournament, Mike.
Yeah, that was a good week. I was down there, I believe you were too.
Yes.
That was fun to watch.
Let's take a minute to talk about our oil pattern, Mike. It looks like it's 43 feet. What do you have to say about it? It looks like about a 2-to-1 ratio.
Pretty flat, pretty heavy in the heads. It looks like they bumped up the heads. Going to be pretty demanding. Not a lot of play, so it's going to take a while to break down. You only got 2 bowlers on each pair breaking them down, so it looks like they're very playable though early. A lot of guys are lined up, so we should see some decent scores.
Well, as usual, I really appreciate your insight. You know, Mike was one of the favorite ball drillers in the Portland area, and he knows all the bowlers. And thank you for coming, Mike.
Down here, thanks for the invite. Great to see everybody. I've been battling some health issues, but I'm excited to be here. And if I can't be down bowling, this is the next best thing. So thanks for having me, Brian, and Dave Newstead, and Portland.
It's a pleasure, Mike. And you know, I was just looking at the league bowlers here, and I just noticed that Nick Devlin's dad has high series in his house. 834 for Mike Devlin.
Yeah, he can get it going, man. He's got some good ball rolling. When he gets to the pocket, it strikes a lot. So that's why I was saying I think the familiarity here. Nick Dale was no stranger to this place.
And look how deep. If you look at the high series board here, you can just see this is one of the favorite houses for scratch bowlers. There's probably 30 guys that have shot 770 or so over the season here.
Yeah, it's a lot different than some of the places, other places, but which is great. You know, you want the high scores. That's what attracts the bowlers, and also the reason there's so many high scores is because look at the list of bowlers. They're all scratch high, good tournament bowlers. So one of the places the bowl league is here. It's Dave Husted's spot, and then say no more. I mean, everybody just wants to bowl here. It's probably the favorite bowling center amongst all the scratch bowlers in the area.
For sure, and this is nostalgic for me because I started bowling league here when I was 8 years old in 1978, I believe. I have history here, and then speaking about the tournament history, Mike, the bowling tournament has moved a few times. So from 1985 and in its inception, we had 15 consecutive years of holding the tournament at this venue, Milwaukee Bowl. But then it went to Kellogg from year 2000, I think 2000 to 2020, and now after 22 years, it's back here at Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's probably where it's supposed to be. I remember as a senior bowler, this was a big must. We look forward to coming over. Back when we were juniors, this tournament, which it went to this year again, was Friday. It's had Friday qualifying, and they were only 4-game blocks. 2 4-game blocks. It was 8 games, but they had, I think, 5 squads: A, B, C, D, and E, and it was fun to come over and watch. Guys were going squad, one right after another, and it went back to the Friday squad this year, moving over here, which was exciting. So probably where it's supposed to be. That's the inception of this tournament. Bob Wells and whatnot had it here. So.
Now our 9:30 squad will feature our next 16 competitors that made the finals. We have 5 previous champions on the next squad. We've got the 2019 champion Ian Willard, and he's in the finals again. No surprise there.
Yeah, he's been on a huge run, especially in this tournament. He won, got second, I think, and then won back-to-back years, which is a huge feat.
Correct. So in 28, now one of those years you got third, right?
Yeah, he beat me.
That's what I thought. And he lost by 1 pin, 6-16 to 6-15 in the final against Eric Jensen in 2018. Gets full-on redemption the next year, winning the tournament in 2019. An amazing feat.
One of the greatest feats. It's hard to get through this tournament to do it back-to-back years.
And we know who did that, the great Blaine Winninger.
Yeah, who will be coming up here next squad, too.
Yeah, so Blaine, and so he's in the premier match. I would say if you were to pick the premier match out of the 16 matches this morning, it's going to be Blaine Winninger versus Jason Lauer. That's going to be a great one.
Yeah, both very well-seasoned tournament bowlers, great competitors, and both players very clutch. Wouldn't surprise me to see either one of those to win the whole thing.
Hey, big shout out to Steve Manning. I don't know if he's a super senior, but that is great to see him still bowling healthy. I believe he's super senior now.
If he's not, he's really close.
Yeah.
I was here watching him and made his run, and it was exciting to see one for the old guys. So.
I also heard that Michael Kennedy's been on fire lately, and he's going to take on our 2017 champion, Scott Halverson.
Yeah, Mike Kennedy had some injuries. He switched to left-handed for a while. He's back now right-handed, which was a great move because ever since he's moved back to right-handed, he's been bowling great. He's also a recent senior player, and then he's bowling Scott Halverson in these master type tournaments.
So round 1 has begun here. We're in the beginning frames. We've got 8 matches going right now across 16 lanes. So Mike and I are just going to kind of wander back and forth.
Test, 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 test.
We got a little technical difficulty with Mike's microphone, but he's back.
Thank you, Thomas Alt Jr. for calling me. Let me know. Appreciate that, TAJ.
Thank you, Mr. Tomato Juice.
Here you go. Here's a bio sheet, Johnny Leggett. You want to move down?
Yeah. Well, I got the bio sheets, Mike, from some of these players. I'm going to go around for a minute and see if I can pick up some more of these bio sheets. Bio sheets, Mikey. Well, so
All right.
Robert Edwards lives in Ridgefield. He loves bowling. That's what he writes down for his lifetime bowling achievements. Okay, Rob, you're a real smart guy. I want to mention that Rob did win the Seattle Masters.
Yeah, he's no stranger to these type tournaments, and I said it in the warm up that when he gets it going, he can strike more than anybody in the building. So.
Definitely, and he kind of has that unorthodox approach. His nickname is Switchfoot, and you know what comes to mind, Mike, is the old regional player Steve Bozel. Doesn't go off the wrong foot, but has very late timing on his slide, his fourth step.
He does, yeah, and they call him Switch. He looks like he's going to slide on his right foot, and then at the very end he shuffles and switches. Probably couldn't copy that style if he wanted to.
Right, and Rob is not the largest guy, which helps. And Rob's currently got a 37-pin lead through 4 frames over Tyler Bowe, an early lead. Tyler's got a couple opens.
Yeah, I like Rob's ball reaction right now. Looks like he's flying.
Okay, so let's take a moment here to talk about Jeff Noggle. He's been on fire lately. His highest previous Masters finish is 4th place. He's got 4 OBA titles. He's a member of Storm and Roto Grip bowling staff. And he currently has a 12-pin lead over Tanner Spacey.
Yeah, this is a really exciting match with a couple really power players. Jeff's been bowling really well the last few years, so...
I see Jeff lives in Canby. Now, the Canby bowling alley is closed now, right?
It is closed, yeah. I've produced a lot of good players. That's Blaine Winninger.
Blaine Win, you betcha. Yeah, yeah. So many bowling alleys have closed. It's hard to make a list. There's got to be 10 or 15 of them over the years.
Yeah, it's pretty sad to see, which, talking about the former host of this tournament, Kellogg, is closed.
So Tanner Spacey, he hails from Spanaway, Washington, and he's a C300 staffer for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's trying to play direct. I see that he's standing on the right side. Maybe he's going to try to go up the track area.
Yeah, he's going to go with a lot of speed, it looks like. And
that's why you don't play the outside part of the lane. He leaves a 1, 2, 4.
Yeah, it's just he's fishing right now, it looks like. So
Jeff with a 15-pin lead about halfway through the first game. Over on 1 and 2, we have a very low-scoring match in progress between our number 1 and number 32 seed. Both Dave Dimoff with 50 in the fourth frame and Eddie Smith 2 opens early. Our tournament leader already has a couple opens, a testament to how difficult the lanes can be.
They're really difficult, and like I said earlier, there's not a lot of play, so it's going to take a lot longer to break them down. So some guys are still fishing right now. So.
And I'm guessing that early on we'll see it be squirrely and a lot of transition, and then they'll cut a track in there and get a little hold. Maybe the scores will be a little better later. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would anticipate the scores getting better as the day goes on. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Take a moment to mention some of our great sponsors here at the Masters. Of course, Dave Husted, Husted Family Milwaukee Bowl, Hazeldale Lanes, Benny's Diesel Repair, Edwards Construction, Rocky Oakens Company, Gliss Employment Services. Thank you very much for all the support. Dave notified me that there was $8,000 added money. As I mentioned earlier, 140 entrants. So I don't think anybody else could get that. You know, the integrity of the Husteds is so great. They can get more bowlers than anybody, period, in the Portland area because of the nostalgia. And, of course, you know, people know he's going to run a good tournament.
And us as bowlers, we thank the sponsors and Dave and everybody for giving us something like this to bowl. It's always a pleasure, even from spectators' point of view, to have such a prestigious tournament in our neck of the woods. So thank you to the sponsors.
A few more bio sheets.
Down watching Corey Husted and Luke Stone. One of the more exciting matches I was looking forward to seeing on the first squad. It's like Corey's got a 32-pin lead right now, bowling on 9 and 10. I was just telling him, Brian, this Corey Husted Luke Stone match was one of the more exciting ones I was looking forward to seeing.
And early on, we got Lucas going at a 173 clip, Corey going at a 120 clip. So early on, Corey's the underdog based on the seedings, but he's the house man. Beautiful shot there by Corey.
He's lined in. Looks like he's taking a little hand out of it and just keeping it in play, keeping it in front of him.
What kind of ball is he? Is that a storm ball he's throwing? I can't quite tell.
I think that looks like maybe a Storm Nova, yes.
Been seeing a lot of that type of ball on the tour.
Yeah, that Storm.
Now, is that an out-of-box surface, a 2000?
It looks like he has a little sand more.
Yeah.
Sand in it. It looks like he probably took it to like 2,000, maybe even 3,000, just to control the reaction down lane a little bit. So most of these guys probably came in with fresh surfaces on their balls, I would imagine.
So down here on 7 and 8, we've got Lucas Cobb. He looks to be our tallest player. Now Lucas Cobb is from Silverton. That looks like a 3D offset, doesn't it? That ball?
It is, or either a regular idol, maybe a regular idol. Is he a staff player?
So look at this, Mike. His highest previous finish is 76th place in the Masters. So this is a great tournament for him. But he does have some credentials. He's had a couple 300s, 6 RTB titles.
Nice.
Looks like he may have been from California at some point.
So it looks like he's throwing swag balls, so that's probably a ball we don't even know about.
Yeah, no kidding. He's got 8 swag balls listing. That's interesting. Legends, a secret diamond. Anyways, early in.
Looks like Luke just got lined up. He's throwing the new idol Helios. So all these guys looks like they're throwing surface this early in the morning, which is probably the right move.
So I didn't get bio sheets from either Corey or Lucas, but that's okay. We all know that they have some decorated trophies at home from winning locally.
Yeah, they need neither one are straight to win a tournament.
Sean Hornberger on lane 12 sends it wide, leaves a 1-2-4-8, and he currently is ahead of Ryan Connor by 12 pins.
He's using a lot of high forward roll right now. These guys are trying to keep it in play. He's no stranger to winning big tournaments either. I believe he's from Montana-ish area, maybe. I don't know.
It's very interesting to note that our defending champion Adrian Anderson missed the cut. He bowled so phenomenal. I know you were not at the 2020 finals, but he averaged 220 on just dirt at Kellogg in the finals. It was amazing.
Yeah, I watched it on the feed. And, one of the more impressive performances I've seen in a long time on the final day. But yeah, he bowled off the Friday squad. He gave it a little run, but they were tough on that Friday squad.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, he kind of had some incredible mentorship down in Roseburg with Brian Smith, Blaze Bedoya, couple of people there who have tour credentials.
Yeah, he could have tour credentials too if he wanted to. He's that type of player. Still, Mike's not working.
Both of them. At the high end of the house, let's take a look at this match between Johnny Liggett and Sean Copeland. Currently,
Check.
Sean Copeland has
Mike,
93 in the fifth with a turkey. Meanwhile, Johnny Liggett just flagged a single pin. So currently, he is in a big hole with Sean. Let's see if he can double here on lane 16. And he leaves a 4-pin. So Sean getting out to a pretty big early lead here.
Yeah, I see their fishing. Sean has 3 spare up there. Not going to be uncommon if you miss a little right there.
Yeah, I'm guessing he took 3 off the right.
Yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of hang out there still. So.
All right, over on 13 and 14, let's take a look at the line on the Eric Jensen match. He has a potential 223 if he goes off the sheet.
223, and opponent could strike out for 216, so tight match here going.
Eric playing right around 4th arrow. Beautiful shot.
Yes, great shot. He's keeping it real direct.
And I'm here looking. Eric's one of the kind gentlemen who actually filled out his bio sheet. Thank you. He has 1 PBA title. I did not know that. Which PBA title did he win? Do you know?
I don't know what it was. I have no idea, but he could have a lot of PBA titles.
Six OBA titles and 3 Player of the Years, Mike.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I went and looked back at, who's won the most money. Like in the early 2010s. Wow, and that was quite the shot by Johnny. Almost a pocket 7-9 high flush. Yeah. He's got 3 Player of the Years in OBA, Eric Jensen. So that's amazing. And we just, there he threw a turkey there in the 9th. So
yeah, he's got to be up there and running. But
Yeah, I mean, this Jacob Mullen guy, he's quite the underdog, and Eric's a very humble player. Of course, he won the Portland Masters. He has made 8 consecutive Portland Master cuts. That is really something to be proud of.
Yeah, that.
Corey Husted with a big 4-6-7 split in the 9th.
Yeah, and Luke's got it going.
Yeah.
That match is going to be tight.
Sean Copeland with a ring 10 in the 9th. Game 1 is coming to a close. Sean Copeland, a potential 222, and Mr. Leggett can shoot 197 if he sheets. And Jacob Mullen with a nice shot in the 9th.
Yeah, he's a good player, good young player. He'll be there for the entirety of this match. Oh,
and when he flags a 10 pin, and throwing that ball with surface and hitting it, that's a little risky on these fresh back ends, right, Mike?
Surprised he's not throwing a spare ball. Yeah, with his rotation.
Or taking his hand out.
Yeah, well, either one. Most of these guys do throw a spare ball, but
I mean, Sean, he gets so many strikes. Sometimes he can miss those spares.
Yeah. In a 3-game match, you have the luxury of missing a couple of those.
Decent shot in the 10th there by Jacob Mullen. So he can shoot a respectable 195 against Eric Jensen. Eric's on a 3-bagger. I'll move down this way a little bit. On 11 and 12, we have got Sean Hornberger and Greek Church in the 10th.
He's been clean all the way too, so he's going to be in the 180s. So this match could tighten up here.
Still not seeing anybody throw urethane. I guess. What do you have to say about the PBA banning those urethane balls?
Yeah, just I don't know enough about it out there. It seems to me like they're fishing for stuff. I don't know what the way the balls are nowadays. What's the difference? So.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what the motive is behind it, but it was certainly entertaining when Sean Rash blew up about it on television.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're letting all these asymmetrical balls go, and they're worried about a urethane that might be.
I mean, don't you just love it when Sean Rash is on the show, because you're just anticipating he's going to say something to get himself fined or something entertaining. Bullying, it helps to have a little bit of controversy sometimes.
Totally. Pete Weber's been that guy for years, so it is, and for as successful as he is, he does not like urethane. It's not any secret. He doesn't like throwing it. He doesn't like it when people throw it at him. So.
And we saw him fall victim to that last week with Maldonado bowling against him with urethane.
Yeah.
The fronts blew up. He shoots a $180 something and loses.
If I was bowling him on TV, I'd probably use a urethane ball just psychologically.
Absolutely. Okay, so Sean Copeland goes spare strike for an even 200. Johnny Leggett can get up here in the 10th and keep it close. Potential 197.
Not seeing a lot of high scores
Lucas
yet.
Stone, 10th frame.
Yeah.
Ooh, and he has opened up a 5-bagger against Corey Husted. So
that puts him in the 2 teens, looks like.
Yeah, you're right. So he can shoot 223. Corey shoots a 198. So advantage Lucas Stone. Lucas, I believe, qualified 6th. Corey, our 27th seed, and Ryan Connor throws one out the window in the 11th.
You see if you get it a little right off your hand, it's not coming back.
Okay, Leggett on lane 16, 10th frame. Beautiful shot.
Good shot. It looks like he may be throwing urethane now. I don't.
Yeah, I would say he's whizzing it down there. That's probably close to 20 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, at least I would imagine.
Oh, let's see what's going on at the low end here. So looks like Nick Devlin has a 24-pin lead after 1.